Hello everyone, welcome to another tutorial from windowslovers.com. This is me, your host Prajwal, and today we're looking to how to set up remote desktop connections on Windows 10 for free. So let's get started. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to install and use VNC Server and the VNC Viewer. If you're not familiar with different versions of Windows 10, you need to have at least Windows 10 Professional Edition for you to be able to connect or set up your computer to be accessed remotely. But as a workaround, you can also install and use VNC, which is absolutely free for personal use and makes managing remote connections or accessing your computer remotely very easy and straightforward. Before we get into the tutorial, there's two apps you will need to install. One is a VNC Server and the second one is a VNC Viewer. VNC Server is the application you would install on the computer that you would actually want to connect remotely or view remotely. VNC Viewer, on the other hand, is the application that you install on the computer or the device that you would use to connect to the remote computer or view the content on the remote computer. A VNC Viewer can be installed on all the major platforms, including your Windows, macOS, Linux, Android, and iOS. VNC Server is also compatible with most of the operating systems. So if you have a Linux, if you have a macOS operating system, or Windows 10 operating system, you would have no issues installing and using VNC Server and the VNC Viewer. So let's get started and see how it's actually done. First thing is you'll go and download the VNC Server and the VNC Viewer. I'll definitely leave all the download links in the description below so you can follow that. So first I will go and download the VNC Server. And second, I'll go and download the VNC Viewer. Just make sure that you are choosing the right platform. I'm using it for my Windows 10 PC, so I'm going to choose Windows 10. But if you're using it for your macOS operating system or any other operating system, you can choose that operating system and download the compatible version. Click on download. So these two are downloaded. Second thing is now I'm going to go ahead and install the VNC Server on this computer because I'm going to use another device to remotely view or control this computer. So I'm going to install the VNC Server on this computer. Click on OK. It's a pretty straightforward installation. Next. Let's click on Next. Just make sure you add an exception to the file for VNC Server. This is important because you are accessing this computer through the firewall, so you got to make sure that there is an exception to VNC Server on the firewall, otherwise your incoming connections might be blocked. Click on Next, click on Install, and yes. While this is getting installed, please make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more tutorials. And if you have any issues, make sure you leave them in the comments below. This is installed, click Finish. So as you can see, it's asking me to sign in to license the VNC Server. Alright, so what you need to do now is you will need to create a free account with VNC so that you can sign in and use it for free for your personal uses. If you're using this in an organization, you'll have to purchase a premium version of VNC Connect. Purchasing a premium version of VNC Connect also gives you different other features which might be helpful for your organization. But if you are using it for personal uses, all you can do is just click on Don't Have an Account, click on this link, and it will take you to the web page where you can sign up for the account. Just enter your email address. Just click on I'm not a robot, click on Next, and it's a pretty straightforward sign up process. I have already signed up, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and sign in. So after you've signed up, you might get a verification code or a verification link to your email. Just make sure you activate your account before you go ahead and sign in. So once you've done that, you can go ahead and log into your VNC Server or log in with your email address. Now it's asking me to specify a VNC password. So this password is a password that you would use on the device you're using to connect to this computer to verify the connection or verify yourself that you have the authority or you have the rights to connect to this PC. Let's click on next. You can name your computer anything. You can name it W Lovers, apply, click on yes, click on done. Alright, so now the VNC server is all set up. So now this computer can be accessed or viewed using a VNC viewer after the proper setup. So I'm going to use an iPad first to remotely connect or view the content of this computer and try to control it remotely from the VNC viewer on the iPad. So let's see how that's done. First, let's go ahead and download the app VNC Viewer. So let's go to App Store, search for VNC, enter, and download VNC Viewer. And tap on open. And it says VNC Viewer would like to find and connect to devices on a local network. Tap on OK. And just scroll through these. It's giving you some information on what VNC Connect is and what you can do with it. Just going to skip that and click on Get Started. Okay, now next step is to sign in with the same account that you've signed in your VNC server from. So tap on Sign In and enter your credentials. Tap on Continue. And you can see I've been signed in. On the top left corner you can see that, and now it will show me all the computers that I have configured the VNC server with. Okay, the first one or the recent one we configured is called W Lovers. So if you want to connect to that, all you got to do is double tap on it, and it says connecting. And into the password that allows any computer to connect to the computer that has the VNC server installed or configured. Tap on Continue. And now as you can see, this computer has connected to my computer. So this is the first time you're using this application. It will show you some initial workarounds. So it says this is your toolbar, tap to unlock it. You can either skip the tutorial or go ahead and see what the tutorial is about. So I'm going to skip a tutorial. This is a really important thing on how to control your computer. If you are using the mouse mode, it supports your gestures. If you can zoom with it, you can left click, double click, right click, all of that stuff. Just click on done. So now I can control my computer with my iPad. So that's how you use VNC Server and VNC Viewer to remotely control or remotely connect to your computer. All right, so what I would like to show is there's two main modes in this VNC Viewer for iPad. So this is your normal mode where you would use this whole screen as your touchpad, so to use your mouse and everything. Now there's another mode which you can toggle by tapping on the eye on the top and click on interaction, and you will see this touch panel. So after you click on that, if you select touch panel, so what happens is your screen is a touch screen, or your whole screen responds to any touches you do. So now you can tap on start, you can tap on this, you can tap to open things, you can tap to move things around. The only problem with this that I find is you cannot scroll with your two fingers. You cannot scroll, or you cannot move things around, or you cannot use your two fingers to scroll. So I usually have a keyboard and a mouse connected while I decide to use my VNC Viewer to connect to my laptop if I'm sitting on the couch or if I'm not at home. Now let's see how you can access the same computer using another Windows computer. Alright, so on the second computer, all you gotta do is install VNC Viewer again, like we did on the iPad, and it's the same setup, same configuration, and you can access your another computer using your another laptop. So what you're gonna do is go to VNC Viewer download page, click on download VNC Viewer for Windows, obviously, and you will download the VNC Viewer. It's about 10 megabits. Once the setup is downloaded, double click on it or just click on open file. Select your language, English for me, click on OK. It's preparing to install. Click on next. Accept the terms and license agreement, click on next. Select your location where you want to install the VNC, click on next and just click on install. And it's asking you for permission. Click on yes. And once everything is completed, click on finish, and now the viewer has been installed on your computer. Alright, let's go ahead and set up the viewer. Just click on start and you will see under recently added VNC Viewer, open that. This is a welcome page. Click on got it, and you can either enter the VNC address. What we're going to do is we're going to sign in. This is the same login details that you use to sign up for a VNC account and the same account that you used to set up the VNC server. Sign in. And as you can see on the top right corner, it says my name, and this is the account that I have, and I have 3 computers. The recent one I set up is Wlovers. So if you want to connect to that computer, double click on it. So Wlovers is my local PC. At the moment, I'm using a virtual machine that's running Windows 10, and I'm trying to connect to my local PC. So double click on it, connecting to the real VNC services. Please like this video and subscribe for more tutorials if these videos have helped. Make sure you leave a comment if you have any issues, and we'll get back to that. Now enter your password. So this is the password that you've set up on your VNC server. When you are configuring the VNC server, it asks you for a password that you want to set up so that it verifies any incoming connections with that password. Enter the password, click on OK. You can also select remember password and click OK. At the moment, it's throwing me into a loop because I am running the virtual machine on the same computer and recording the screen at the same time and logging into the VNC Viewer to view what's happening on the screen. So it's sort of going into the loop, but you will be able to view your screen once you've clicked on connect and enter the right password. I'm going to close that for now. Alright, before I wrap up this video, there's a few things I would like to mention. The first thing is you got to make sure that your VNC server is running at all times on your remote computer. For example, if I want this computer to be remotely connected at all times, I want to make sure that this VNC server is connected and the status is green. That means it is accepting incoming connections. First thing. Second thing is this free version of VNC, and almost all the VNC versions do not support wake up on LAN, meaning your computer has to be up and running and cannot be on sleep mode or hibernating or even turned off if you would like to remotely connect to this computer. So you got to make sure that you change your power settings and make sure that this computer doesn't go to sleep at all times for you to be able to connect to it anytime you prefer. The other applications like TeamViewer, and there's other applications that support this feature. Unfortunately, VNC does not as of yet. The third thing is it runs on any version of Windows 10 or even Windows 7, Windows 8.1, regardless of what version you have. The remote desktop connection feature needs at least Windows 10 Professional to be able to connect or to be connected to, but you can install VNC Viewer and VNC Server on any computer and you can access those computers remotely. I hope this helped. Please make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more.